10. This is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 10. I'm Bridget Bjorlo.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. It's primary night here in Connecticut, just 12 weeks from the November general election. The polls closed 2 hours ago, and the results are already coming in.
And we have team coverage for you tonight for the state's major primary elections. The Fairfield County Democratic stronghold has 3 seats up for grabs in the state legislature. Fox 61's Matt Caron is live for us tonight at Bridgeport, where they're under a cloud of voter frustration after several ballot fraud cases there. How did it go tonight, Matt?
Well, you know, elections here in Bridgeport, we all know, how shall we say it? They are usually eventful, right? But we're live here in front of City Hall. We're monitoring all these results in real time. And earlier today, we caught up with some voters. Here's what they had to say. It's the 5th time in the last 12 months Bridgeport voters have been called to the polls.
Some of them are worn out.
I'm tired right now.
But this time, it wasn't a mayoral election, rather a potential shakeup of the state legislature.
We're in trouble. So we need to get back on track.
A state Senate seat left open by Marilyn Moore's retirement sparked a 4-way race that includes former Bridgeport Mayor Bill Finch, ex-Bridgeport City Councilor Tyler Mack, current City Councilor Scott Burns, and Quinnipiac University law professor Sujata Gadkar-Wilcox. What's important to voters?
Benefits that we need to have.
Their character, what they're made up of.
And character is called into question for the other 2 races. State Senate hopeful Ernie Newton is a convicted felon, and House challenger Anita Martinez is under state investigation for the misuse of campaign funds and absentee ballot fraud. Does their record matter?
No, it doesn't. If you want to get the big picture, look at Mr. Trump. No, it doesn't bother me.
Once you've served your time, for me, that's a done deal.
Newton and Martinez are challenging the incumbents, Heron Gaston and Andre Baker.
We always hear troubling news out of Bridgeport.
Secretary of the State Stephanie Thomas told Fox 61 this time things went smooth. She even gave a shout out to Bridgeport registrars for finding a new entrance to accommodate voters when it was discovered at the last second that the Hallen School polling place was under construction.
They also put digital signs on the corner of the street where the school is located, also on the next block, and signs on several doors at the school.
Okay, so we're going to give you all these current results here in just a moment, but it's worth noting that for these 3 races we talked about, there are no Republican challengers. What that means is essentially whoever wins the primary tonight, they're going to win the general election in November. For now, we're live here in Bridgeport, outside City Hall. Matt Caron, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, thank you, Matt. And here's a look at the races coming down right now in Bridgeport. The Associated Press still telling the results in the 22nd district race for state senate in that 4-way battle. Sujata Gadkar-Wilcox is currently holding the lead against her 3 other opponents. So we are still getting those results dropping down this hour. And in the 23rd state senate district, incumbent Heron Gaston is leading over Ernest Newton II. At this moment, the AP has not yet recorded any results in the 124th state representative district. So we will continue to follow that.
And there are 2 races for the seats in the Connecticut General Assembly representing the greater Hartford area in the Democratic primary.
Yeah, both include challengers looking to unseat longtime incumbents. Fox 61's Jake Garcia is following those races. He joins us live from the state capitol with the very latest. Hi, Jake.
Hi, Sarah and Bridget. We're talking about the state senator race in District 2, as well as the the state representative in District 15 here in the state of Connecticut. And those races have been a nail biter, including some controversy in the weeks leading up to today's primary. Primary elections are known to have less voter turnout than general elections, especially with the presidential election on the horizon. But voters in the greater Hartford area showed up to the polls to have their voices heard.
I just wanted to vote in the primary. I just wanted to be active, for my community and stuff.
Voters keeping plenty of issues on the brain as they casted their ballot.
Yeah, Yeah, taxes is one of the things I'm concerned about. Preserving women's reproductive rights and health-wise for people of color, the disparity of women having access to good health care. I definitely supported Bobby Gibson. I mean, he's been our representative and he's been doing a fantastic job, so I'm definitely aligned with him.
Incumbent State Representative Bobby Gibson looking to keep his seat, serving Bloomfield and West Hartford since 2018. Despite being the incumbent, he did not receive the party endorsement and had to collect signatures in order to appear on the ballot. He's running against Jennifer Marshall Neely, who did receive the party endorsement. She's a justice of the peace and is the town's registrar of voters, which caused more controversy as some thought she should recuse herself from this election. Secretary of the State Stephanie Thomas said last month that wasn't necessary because town clerks handle the ballots, not town registrars. In the race for state senator covering Hartford, Bloomfield, and Windsor, incumbent and party-endorsed candidate Doug McCrory has served as state senator since 2017. The former teacher and school administrator turned lawmaker has supported education and youth programs like the Hartford Night Gyms while co-sponsoring bills that raise the minimum wage in the state and mandating sick leave, among other things. He's challenged by two candidates, Shelley Davis, who also has a background in education and has been vocal about the budget cuts to Hartford schools, while running on a platform for labor rights, affordable health care, and environmental-friendly infrastructure projects. And Ayanna Taylor, who serves on the Board of Education in Windsor and is running on a campaign focused on making Connecticut more equitable in key issues, like housing, by fighting for affordable housing and tackling rising rents and predatory out-of-state landlords. Now let's take a look at the numbers for State Senator District Number 2. Currently, Doug McCrory, who is the incumbent there, leading with 70% of the vote with 27 precincts reporting. Now over on the state representative side for District 15, the Associated Press calling that race for incumbent Bobby Gibson with 70% of the votes with 83% of the precincts reporting. Now, interesting enough about Bobby Gibson, as I noted, that he actually had to collect signatures to appear on today's ballot. So far, it looks like the incumbents are in good shape in both of these races. Reporting live from the state capitol, Jake Garcia, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Jake, thank you very much. And as we zoom out to get a bigger picture of what this all means, Fox 61's political reporter Emma Wolfhorst is here with us now.
So, Emma, we've been talking a lot about some of these state elections, but we also know that there are some primaries tonight that really are going to determine the shift in power potentially in the House.
Absolutely. We just heard from Matt and from Jake there about some of the state legislative races. Obviously really important as well, but we have two primaries tonight that we're following, both U.S. Senate and Connecticut's 4th congressional district here in the state. Those are going to determine the Republican challengers to take on incumbent Senator Chris Murphy and Representative Jim Himes, which, as we know, razor-thin margins in both of the chambers of Congress right now, so that could have some big shift. And we actually have a call that just came in about 10 minutes ago in one of those races. Registered Republicans have now voted to determine who will face, as I said, incumbent Senator Chris Murphy and independent candidate Robert Hyde on the ballot come November. Matthew Corey has been named the Republican Senate candidate, as we said, just in the last 10 minutes or so. Take a look here at the results. Actually, a bit of an upset here. The Associated Press calling it for the Manchester businessman Corey. He did not get the party endorsement at the state GOP convention this year. Connecticut's Republican Party threw their support behind his opposition, Beacon Falls First Selectman Jerry Smith. Smith did pull far ahead really early, right after polls closed, with a lot of support specifically in the Beacon Falls and Southbury areas, but obviously Corey has really held on to his lead across the state. And in the southwestern corner of Connecticut, that other race there, Republican voters in the 4th district casting their ballots for who will challenge longtime incumbent U.S. Representative Jim Himes. The choices there were Greenwich Dr. Michael Goldstein and the state Tea Party leader Fairfield's Bob McGuffey Goldstein. Currently ahead, though, still a close race there, about 57 to 43%. But of course, just over about half the votes counted and reported for the 4th district race. Here's a look at what we're still waiting on. Another important thing to remember tonight, voter turnout was low. It's usually always low, especially in primaries here. So every vote really mattering tonight. We could see the district race get even closer. And not only does this determine who goes up against Himes, who's been in office for 15 years now. If a Republican were to unseat Himes, the 4th District, as we said, could have major consequences in the balance of power in Congress. The Republican majority very, very thin right now, which is why definitely stay tuned. Keep Connecticut's news station on for the next hour because these votes are being reported very quickly. Things are changing, so we'll have up-to-the-minute updates for you as we continue with our broadcast. Bridget, Sarah.
And incumbents always have the edge in these things, so that'd be really interesting if the upset is pulled off.
Absolutely, yeah. The strength of Corey and the strength of whoever ends up winning, Goldstein or McGuffey, definitely going to matter come November.
All right, Emma, thank you. We'll talk with you in just a little bit. You can get these very latest election results right to your phone. Right now, just text the word election to the phone number on your screen, 860-527-6161. We'll send you a link to check out the latest election numbers as they come into our newsroom. Again, text the word election to the number on your screen.
Now, Fox 61 Weather Impact with meteorologist Sam Sampieri.
Well, we certainly had a beautiful day today. We had temperatures in the 70s and 80s. Look at the high temperature. Windsor Locks, 85, 77 Groton, 81 in Danbury. Absolutely gorgeous out there. And this evening, we have cooled off very nicely in our rural and suburbs in the 60s, but our urban center is still very warm. It's 74 New Haven, 72 Bridgeport, and 71 up at the airport at Windsor Locks and Dew Points, and we're okay. We're comfortable. High pressure in control, and this high will give us another nice day for tomorrow. So overnight, we'll have clear skies, and temperatures will bottom out in the low 60s in the urban centers, upper 50s to lower 60s across the rural areas. During the day tomorrow, lots of sunshine, mixing with some clouds in the afternoon, but should be dry with high temperatures reaching the upper 70s to lower 80s. Here's our temperature profile across all of Connecticut. Again, another beautiful day. Even along the shoreline, temperatures are going to be in the 80s. That's because we have a land breeze coming out of the north and northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Coming up, I will detail you Thursday. We'll time out some showers. We'll talk about Friday and the weekend. And all eyes on Tropical Storm Ernesto. Details coming up in a few minutes. Ladies?
Thank you, Sam. New here at 10, a Bridgeport woman's facing charges for her alleged connection to a robbery at an illegal gambling club and for running the joint. During a wild incident in March, 2 men were killed. Police say they were attempting to rob a gambler and a chaotic exchange of gunfire ensued. Tavon Jeter and Richard Davis were killed. Today, police named Shanika Merced as one of the suspects. She's accused of conspiring with the 2 men to rob the gambler. 2 other men have been arrested in connection to the incident, and one of them reportedly had a relationship with Merced.
Another deadly crash on Connecticut roads to tell you about. This time, a motorcyclist is dead after hitting a car. Police say they were called to the intersection of Main Street and Route 189 in Tariffville around 6 this morning. The man riding the motorcycle was found in the road and later died in the hospital. Anyone who saw the crash should call police. No word yet on if the driver of the other vehicle is injured. The road has since reopened.